Welcome to Resilience in Life and Leadership with your host, Stephanie Olson. Hello, and welcome to the Being Resilient podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Olson, and I am so honored to be here with Sara Im. And Sara, you have just an incredible story. And we just read your bio. I am so excited to hear about it. You've got an amazing book. So share a little bit about your story and just start wherever you would like.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to be your guest on this show. I would like to start out from my childhood so that, the audience or the listener get to know me, a little more.
Yes.
So I grew up in the beautiful village in Cambodia. And my childhood was beautiful. My parents are farmers, and I was the firstborn.
Yes. Hey, firstborn. Yes, me too.
Yes. I feel so loved and pure. And my parents believe in higher education, so they keep encouraging me. So that's have stuck in my mind that whatever I do, I never give up school.
Wow.
So when I was 13, my mom had an accident and she became paralyzed from like down. So as a firstborn, I'm a caregiver, but I love my mom so much. I care for her with my love and passion. I want her to get well. So I took care of her for 4 long years.
Oh, wow. Now, how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 younger brothers.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But the youngest 2 are born much later. So they are much younger than me.
So you probably had to take care of your mom and then pick up some of the slack for your brothers as well.
Yes,
Wow.
the baby brothers.
Okay.
But I shared this time with my mom because that's when then I had time with my mom and build such a strong love relationship with her. And that relationship, it's just so strong that it's unbreakable.
Wow.
And then when I graduated from high school, at that time, my mom also got better. So she was able to walk again. It's just a miracle.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. So when she was able to walk again, she got back to work and she made money and save to send me to college. And college is far away from home, like almost 400 miles away.
Oh, wow.
So I left my family. During my time in college, Cambodia went through a very difficult time. That's when the communist Khmer took over the country. And they came in with madness, with resentment, with anger and hatred. So they put all of us into more like a prisoner of war.
Wow. That had to have been terrifying. I mean, going from a happy childhood, to being like a prisoner of war. I can't even imagine that switch. So yeah, share a little bit about that.
Yeah, they evacuate everybody from the city. That means, they don't want anybody to live in the city anymore. They want to clean out the whole country. So I end up in the a work camp,
Mm.
a labor camp.
Now, how old were you at this time?
I was 21.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So in this camp, we worked so hard in the heat of the sun, the intense sun, all day long, about 15 hours a day.
Wow.
And 7 days a week. And we have very little time to sleep, and we got very little food to eat.
Wow.
So
now was your family there, or was your family dispersed?
I was away from my family.
Wow.
So since I was in college, when they took over, they shut down the country right away.
Okay.
So that means there's no transportation.
Wow.
Yeah. The complete shutdown is unbelievable. If I tell you all how it was shut down, imagine all the banks are closed.
Mm.
All the marketplaces are closed. No more school, no more government office of any kind.
Wow.
So when it's shut down, it's completely shut down. Nobody went anything.
And you probably couldn't reach your family to find out how they were. How in the world did you handle that, even emotionally?
I would just cry. I cried. There's nothing I can do. But I remember all I thought about is, oh, I wish I was home to help out. I just want to help out.
Yeah.
You know, when anything happened to us, we want to be together with our family.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter who you are and what country you are.
Yeah.
People that we love, we want to be close to.
Wow.
In my case, I was away from them. Yeah. But but when I got into the work camp, the forced labor camp, I had to work every day, non-stop. And then we receive very little food because we don't have any utensil, any pots and pans, or anything to cook for ourselves. They don't want us to cook for ourselves.
Right. So at the time this was happening, did you have an understanding of what was going on? What was the conversation among the people in the camp? Because this really happened without warning.
Right. Well, nobody understands. So we cannot complain, because if we complain, if we grumble, we will be disappear. They took away people. Some people that have any association with the previous government, or being in the military, or being an intellectual person, they disappear.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was so fortunate that I was mixed and mingled with the rest of the population, and they did not recognize me as a college student. I could have been gone.
If you were a college student, because that posed a threat.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they want to eliminate anybody that have any education, higher education.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So tell me where the other people in the camp with you was it all ages? Was it mixed genders? How did they place people? Was it younger people doing the labor? What was their thought process with that?
Yeah, I skip a step when I tell you.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Um, I was I was mixing with different ages, different sex. And then when they announced that they want some people to go to be trained to be in a mobile team, so that this team might have an opportunity to go help out the nearby villages.
Oh, wow.
So that was attractive to me because I want to move around and I might be able to sneak out and go find my family.
Right.
That's my thought. So I signed up to be part of that. So I end up in that camp. They only want the single man and woman.
Mm.
All of us are single, about the same age. Even though it's man and woman, that they separate, the man, sleep in the different tents than the woman. So we are pretty much safe there. But the work condition is just unbelievable. And the malnutrition, it hurt us the most.
Yeah.
And the exhaustion.
Right. When you combine starvation with hard labor, I mean, that is obviously deadly.
Yes. And lack of sleep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So within a couple of months, I become sick. I start out with a high fever, and then I got malaria,
Oh, wow.
and then I get typhoid,
Mm.
and they just keep going, just keep adding. And my body becomes swollen all over.
Wow.
And when it's swelling up enough, I emaciate. When I get, if I was 100 pounds, I lost about 20 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Every time I emaciate, I lost about 10 pounds. And then I pop up again, and then I emaciate again, another 10 pounds again. Yeah. When you lose so much weight in a day or two like that,
Yeah.
it's really dangerous. I was extremely weak. So at one point, my close friend told me, try not to take a nap, no matter how exhausted I was. I tried to hold on not to take a nap, because what happened, some people that have the similar condition, when they took a nap, they don't have enough strength to wake up.
Wow. Wow.
The exhaustion is to the extreme. Yeah. So, but I still had to go to work every day in order to receive a little bit food.
So you received food based on the amount of work that you accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I keep going no matter how exhausted I was, until I can't move. When I cannot move anymore, they don't want me to stay in that camp.
Okay.
They have a place for the sick people. So they send me to a different place. And when I got to that place, I realized that the people that are there before me, they are very sick. And pretty soon I realized that, if I keep staying here, I will not make it.
Right.
I will get some more disease add to what I already have, and I will never make it.
When they weren't, I'm assuming, taking care of you in the sick camp, were you getting food? Were you getting anything at all?
We get food. We get a little bit of food, but nothing else.
Okay.
No medication. There's no doctor to take care of us.
Wow. Okay.
So the people there are just waiting for their time to die.
Yeah.
And I saw people die all the time. So I realized that I need to get out from there. So I can't talk, I'm just thinking, to find my way out. But I don't have a way out. If I go back to the working place, I cannot work. If I run away, I cannot run that far. They will kill me because I'm too exhausted. If I stay, I will not survive. So I just don't have any way out. At that time, I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do to survive? All I want is to survive, so that I can go find my family, to help out my family. I just want to go and help out. So when I think about looking for a way out, I remember when I was very young, like 7 or 8 years old, I heard my mom read the story. She liked to read her book, her story at nighttime, and I love to lay next to her and just listen to what she's reading. I enjoy her story. It's the adult story. It's not children's story. But one story that I remember the most, in that story, there was a man that dedicated his life to generosity. What did he do? He wanted to be generous his whole life. So he gave away all his belonging, everything that he ever owned. And then he went into the jungle type of a living. He had his wife and 2 children.
Wow.
That's the only thing he had. And when he lived in the wilderness, there was a mean person who asked for his wife and his 2 children. So this generous man, his family so much, but he also dedicated to his generosity virtue. So he was torn, but finally this man, the mean person, insists, and he won the battle. So he got the wife and the 2 children, and he beat them up right in front of the generous man.
Oh my goodness.
So the generous man, was so upset. And then there was God. God saw what happened, and he sent his angel to rescue the woman and the 2 children. So from this story, I believe that there is God. Send the angel, the God that sees the situation, the God that has compassion on people. So since then, I believe that there is God. I don't know much about this God, but I know he exists. Now, when my life is in danger, now I'm trying to survive, I remember that God. So I pray to him. I pray and I ask for help. Ask him to please help me to survive whatever I need to do. So I'm not just praying one night. I keep praying every night. So one morning, when I woke up, I feel like I have an extra energy, that I feel like I can manage to walk over to the other side. So I did. So when I arrived at the working site, one kind young woman, she's a team leader. She saw me come in, and she used to know me before I was sick. And wow. she took me in her group, and she said, you can stay with me. I might find something for you to do. Because if you are not in the sick place, you have to do something in order to receive the little food.
Sure.
So, and then she keep her eyes on me and she said, you are too sick to stay with me.
Mm.
So she talked with the kitchen staff and she said to me, you need to go to work in the kitchen.
Oh.
It just like, to me, it's like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
In this case, because everybody's starved to death.
Wow.
And I get to work in the kitchen. It's just so amazing. So when I work there, I get more food and I work less hour, work in the shade.
Wow.
Get extra sleep. So it just like, God answer my prayer. I did not know by then, but after everything is over.
Right. You could look back and you can see how God was walking right there with you the whole time.
Yes, yes. And I realized that I will survive.
Wow.
I will survive. So for several months, I worked in the kitchen and I'm so grateful that I gradually recover my health. But when I looked well enough, they took me out from the kitchen, throw me back into the rice field again. But at least I'm not as sick as I was.
Yeah.
At least I have some energy. So I endure 4 long years.
Oh my goodness.
4. With the hope that one day I will see my family again. That's all I hope for. So toward the end of 4 years, something is happening. Something changed. So the leader of this camp start to move the camp. This camp originally, when we got there was 1,000 people.
Wow.
And then a lot of people died out because of the sickness and so on. So we probably still have about 300 people left.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so they start to move us, push us to go closer to the jungle, moving to the direction up to north. That means closer to the jungle. And we keep moving all the time. And then I realized that this is the wrong direction for me. My hometown is now at the jungle. My hometown is near the city. I need to find my way away from these people. So at one point, I decided I need to escape. So I gathered my 3 closest friends and I asked them, I said, I want to escape. Would you go with me? So I need people to go with me because at that time I become very frail again.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's good company.
Well, and I'm sure the fear of escaping, because I'm assuming that if you were caught, that would be death, immediate death. Yeah.
Of course. Yes. Yeah. We will be shot on the spot. There's no question. Yeah. So we were brave because we want freedom. We don't want to go to live in the jungle without freedom. So we make plan and we wait till nighttime and we didn't. In the jungle, I cannot believe that we didn't. How could we? We don't know where to go, how to, what direction. We have no idea. There's no GPS, of course.
No, absolutely not.
yeah, it just unbelievable. I didn't have enough time to think about that until
Right.
all is over. I think back, I say, wow,
It's amazing.
amazing. So when we want something bad enough,
Yeah.
when our goal, our passion is filled with love, we can do it.
Wow.
And with our faith in God.
Absolutely. So how long were you on the run when you escaped?
Well, the whole night we were walking one whole night to just get out from their group. So when the morning come, when we look back, we didn't see them. So we realized that we make it. So we are safe.
Yeah.
We keep walking until finally we see some people walking, and then we get into the village and we ask for direction to go to my hometown. So we walk a long way, a few weeks, almost
my goodness.
almost a month. We walk barefoot. So, but
wow. So what was happening in the other areas of Cambodia that you were able to walk into a village and people were free, people were available to help? Is that right?
yes, I found out later, much later, that the whole country was liberated about 4 months before I got out.
Oh my goodness.
The whole country had been liberated, but this group that kept us, they didn't want to release us. They just kept us with them.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yes.
So you found this village, you found people, and then what?
Well, we asked for help, like, we need food, and we have a little bit of raw rice with us, but we need help, like the pots and pans and to cook it, so on. So after we cook it, we pack it up and we carry we carry on to our trip. But with the villager, we ask for direction. So some of them know, some of them don't know, how to direct us. But when we keep asking, we found a direction. So.
Did you find your family?
Yeah, it's a long way, but I tracked down and finally found them. Yes, yes.
Wow. How was that reunion?
Oh, it was just unbelievable. We were so happy. My parents thought that I was dead.
Of course, yeah.
Because it had been 4 years, of course, they haven't heard from me. And then the country was liberated 4 months ago. And I'm still not back home. So that I was dead. They gave away all my clothes and everything. Yes. But my dad still did not give up. He had a little bicycle and he rode his bicycle everywhere and asking around, have you seen my daughter? Have you seen my daughter? Everywhere.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, he searched everywhere.
So was it this one camp that was not liberated, or were there other camps around the country that were still held?
I have no idea. There's so many pockets, so many regions all over the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did your family experience during that time?
My family experienced hardship just like I did.
Yeah.
But on top of that, my mom had a stroke.
Oh.
In the pandemic, in the big pandemic.
Okay.
But my dad was so smart, and he built well, everybody built their own shelter to live in. It's just a shed. So my dad built a wall to hide my mom beside
Wow.
behind the wall. So nobody come to look for her to pull her out to go to work because she can't work.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So 4 years later, you're reunited with your family,
Mhm.
and that obviously really changed your life. I love that story about your mom reading that book and you knowing God is with me. And I think it's so fascinating that even though the country was liberated, you were still a prisoner. And
Mhm.
isn't that so much like so many of us? Christ has liberated all of us by dying for our sins, and he's given us that gift. And yet so many of us have to live as prisoners because the enemy has a hold of us. So,
Yes.
wow,
Yes.
such
Yes.
a powerful story. So tell me then, um, today you've used this as something to really help others. Tell me what you're doing now with your story.
Well, I wrote the book, and in my book, I told more detail about my journey, so on, and more detail about my mom, my dad, and the tradition and everything. And most important of all is my journey, how I get out from captivity and how I get out from the country. I make another escape.
Hmm. So tell me that. Tell me about getting. Now, first of all, I want to make sure people know your book is called How I Survived the Killing Fields, a story of hope, love, and determination. That's that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. That originally when I thought that I want to write my story, because my story it's about love, it's about hope, it's about determination.
Yeah.
It's not about the killing fields.
Yeah.
When you get my book, I don't dive too much into the brutality of the killing field. Yes, there was. I touch on it, but most importantly is it's about love and faith and hope, determination, how you don't give up, you don't give in, you don't surrender, you don't give up hope.
Right. Right. And that's exactly what you did. And I think that what's so powerful about your story is you really made the decision, I'm going to survive. That's what I want to do.
Yes, yes, that's my goal, to survive so that I can go back home and help out.
Wow. Wow. So when did you leave Cambodia?
I left Cambodia in 1980.
Okay.
So the whole country was liberated in 79.
Okay.
But
So it was shortly after that.
yeah, I reunited with my family. We enjoyed a reunion for about a year.
And then what brought you to America?
Well, when when our country was liberated, we still in chaos. We still everything was just destroyed. There's no infrastructure. There's nothing going on. And the group that liberate us is from another country, and we not sure if we trust them, and we cannot. We lost trust it now,
Yeah.
because the communist Khmeros was our own people. Cambodian hate ourselves, have our own, hate our own population because of their mind had been washed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So we don't trust this new government. Not really a government. There's no government at that time. But my mom have a cousin who came to United States long time ago as a student. So she thought of him, and she's saying that I would be safer to get out from the country. Well, we all want to get out, but my mom was really sick at that time. My mom struggled with her health on and off, on and off. So at that time, she was not able to walk.
Oh, wow. Right.
So she sent me out with one of her cousins. She said, you need to go, sweetheart. And I cried all the way until I left. Yeah. I didn't want to leave because, I don't know. I don't want to leave. I love my family.
Right. That's got to be such a frightening journey because you don't know what's ahead of you. You know that what you're leaving behind is comfort. And yeah, I cannot imagine how hard that must have been.
Yeah, yes. But my mom said, honey, just think this way. When you get there, you might be able to help us. Might be able to come back and help us. So for the sake of the family, I left. For the sake of the family, my mom sacrificed me. That's also. Right. She loved me as much as I love her.
Wow. That's the love of a mom for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So you got to the States and then what?
I got to the state and rebuild my new life. Start learn the English. So I went to the technical school to learn a little bit skill so that I can find a job. I tried to look for a job before I went to that technical skill, but nobody hired me because I can't speak English.
Sure.
So it's just like,
yes.
Yes. So after I got a little bit a certificate that I graduated from this technical school and I found a job, and then finally I was able to pass my GED. So I registered for college. See, my parents planned this education in my mind since I was young. So I don't give up. I keep going.
Wow, that is amazing. Yes. And so you got your GED. You found a job. What were you doing?
My first job, I worked in a factory. It's in a mechanical factory. And then later on, I found another job working in a laboratory in a company that made the PC board, printed circuit board.
Interesting.
So it's a lot better condition. Yeah.
Wow.
But the factory job, but just a temporary so that I can, earn a living and I can pay for school. I pay my own way to school.
Wow. Good for you.
Through college. My company that I work full-time for, they have an education assistant. So they help out also.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Yes.
So today you have an amazing ministry. Tell me about that. And when did you write your book?
I wrote my book 6 years ago. Wow. Yeah. I didn't want to share my story for 35 years.
Wow.
I had, there are a lot more Cambodians that survive and then they live here and there, and nobody wants to talk about that. No, it's just too painful to think about, talk about. But at one point I shared with one or two friends, and when they heard my story, they were so inspired and they encouraged me to write a book. And then I come across friends that lost their children to suicide.
Oh.
And it hit me. I said, I feel like people live in this beautiful country, prosperous country, and they're still not happy with their life and take their own life. And I feel like if they know about my problem, they might think twice about taking their life. So that's my original thought, that, you know, I think my story can help a lot of people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, I think that when you use your pain to really help others through their healing, there's nothing more powerful. That is just amazing. And I find it so, you know, I think so often we think that could never happen to us. That could never happen here. And what would you say to people who say that?
Well, I realize that there may not be a killing fields in United States, but people have got into their own killing fields. Some messy, nasty divorce, some the loss of business, loss of income, loss of home. There's a lot of homelessness. So that's the kind of killing fields that they have. Yeah. They live in. So some people, they feel like they will never recover from this situation. And a lot of people get into drug addiction, alcohol, and all kinds of addiction. That itself is worse than the killing fields.
Wow. So what would you say to those people?
I said, I don't know what is the right way to say, but whatever it is that you are in, whatever the struggle that you are in, you can make it out. You can get out. If you have a clear goal, if you have love in your heart, if you have somebody that you love so much, you will fight your way all the way until you come out from that situation.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
What does resilience mean to you? I ask that to all my guests. What does resilience mean to you?
Resilience means to me that no matter what happened to our life, we don't stay there. We don't stay in the trouble. We don't stay in the pit. We are able to climb out of the pit and rebuild a new life. We will fall down sometime, but we need to get up. We can get up and keep moving. So that's how I view resilience. And every one of us need to build the resilience before the problem happens.
Yes.
So what happened? People get into the habit of taking the money out of ATM. So resilience is not ATM.
Yep.
Resilient, you have to have it. You have to build it before you need it.
That's so powerful. Yes. And some of the way that you build resilience, I was talking to a guest not that long ago who said, It's doing the hard things, even when you can do the easy things, because someday you'll have to do the hard things and you don't have a choice. So that is, yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So resilient is like, well, I'm using the bank account because everybody have a bank account.
Mhm.
Building a resilient is like stock up your money, build up your saving in the bank.
Right.
And you need it, you have it. You can take it out and use it. So resilient is very similar. We have to build a personal resilience.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So, Sarah, how can people find you? How can they find your book? Where should we send you? And we will put all of these in the notes of the podcast. So, how can people reach out to you?
Yes, people can can find my book on my website, saraim.com, SARAIM.com/book. And if you go to saraim.com, you will find more information about me and different events that I do. I pretty much involved in the community. I have a networking group for Christian professionals, and
Great. And you're available for speaking events as well. Is that correct?
yes,
Yes.
I am a inspirational speaker. So reach out to me if you have an event and you want to inspire your audience. I will be happy to support.
Absolutely. Well, your story is extremely inspirational. It's amazing. You really do have just I mean, when you talk about love, hope, and determination, that is you. And it's a beautiful story. I'm sorry that you had to go through that and the things that you suffered, but I thank you that you are using that to help other people. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you for having me share my story. I hope that it helped the listener, because I understand pain. I understand the suffering. I understand near-death experience.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
understand the separation from your loved one.
Mm.
So, yeah, our love for our family and friends is very important to our life. We cannot live our own self without anybody to love.
Yeah. And I think we've lost some of that with social media. We've lost that true connection. We've lost that true, that deep, intimate relationship that's not quite as prominent as it used to be in our lives. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate it. You are a joy, and I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to talk to you. And I have already ordered your book. I'm looking forward to getting that and reading that. So I would love for all of you to do the same. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you for listening. Please share with anyone you think will benefit from this podcast.